Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my friends. This is Dylan with Tucson Future Classics, and that is our 2022 all-wheel drive, long-range Kia EV6. Those of you that have been scoping out our inventory or watching our test drives here lately will have noticed that we've had a lot of these recently, and that's for really good reason. The Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis eGMP 800-volt architecture EV platform is simply one of the best on the market. So every time we find a good one, we grab it. You can really tell that when this was designed, they were aiming directly at Tesla at its peak, and they came correct. This particular EV6 has got just under 65,000 miles on it. It being the all-wheel drive long-range trim means that whoever got this new wanted the spiciest EV6 they could get without the range and comfort concessions needed to get the GT line. So all the comfort, all the range, with almost all of the speed. Speaking of that previous owner, they actually followed the periodic maintenance schedule on this. Looking at its Carfax vehicle history report, there's, no accidents, damage, and it has 5 different services done at the local Kia dealers to them. So they actually took it in for servicing on time and when it was appropriate, which you love to see. They even spent some good money, as we walk around this, I'll show you, cladding this in Yokohama YK GTX tires, which are really a nice match for this car. Very grippy, decently long tread life, and they ride very nicely. They handle the weight and the power of this EV quite well. Speaking of the weight and power, this thing has got a 77.5 kilowatt hour battery pack up underneath it. Those dual motors, front and rear, giving you a combined about 330 horsepower, nearly 500 foot-pounds of torque, meaning this thing absolutely scoots. Put it in sport mode, put your foot down, and you're out of here pretty quickly. Another really cool thing that I'll show you a little bit later is this has what's called V2L, or vehicle to load. So you can use this effectively as a giant portable power bank. But more about that in a minute when we get into the car. Meanwhile, the aerodynamics of it are one of the best on the market, with little tricks like the shaping of the mirrors and the adjustable closing grille shutters down below, all to make it a little bit slipperier and a little bit more efficient at high-speed highway cruising. But let's get in this thing, under the hood, in the car, and out for a rip. Not a whole lot going on up under the hood here. It is an EV after all, and a dual motor at that. But they managed the packaging quite well. Washer fluid is here. Coolant reservoir for your inverter, battery pack, and drive units is right there. Up under this is a little weatherproofed frunk. You can see the weather stripping running all along it to keep water, dust, and debris out of your little storage area here. A pretty fresh Superstart AGM 12-volt accessory battery in it there. Your fuse box is here, and your brake fluid reservoir is right up there. Coming around to the back, power lift gate, because of course it does. So as that opens up to present us the whole back of the car here, we'll dig into it. Decently sized cargo area. This fastback sloping roofline opens up to a remarkable amount of space and height here. Sitting right on top is the factory tire mobility kit, and I'll get into this in a minute, but this is your V2L adapter for the charge port, allowing it to be used as a portable power bank. Up underneath here, this is a false floor. Down beneath this is the subwoofer for the Meridian premium sound system, and you've got extra storage running all the way up there. In fact, I'm going to pop the tire mobility kit right in a little notch there. Shuts like nothing's there. These seats do in fact fold flat. Pull these handles here and just let gravity do the work. 1 and 2. See? Acres of room back there for all your stuff. You also have a 12-volt charge port here and illumination in the back. All right, quick breakdown of V2L, or vehicle to load. How to turn your car into a giant charger. This is the adapter for the charge door. So give this a pop here, opens right up. Pop the end cap off there, squeeze here and here, and this will come open, revealing a standard household plug. Now the cool thing with this is this will run anything you could plug normally into a wall. Put this in here, press that there. When it's not blinding out, that will light up blue, and you will see a message appear on the dashboard showing V2L active, well, when the car is running. But there we go, transferring V2L. That means it recognizes the adapter and is ready to start offloading power. So then just plug an extension cord or whatever up in there, shut the weatherproof cover. Easy to do with two hands, but boom, then you're good to go. This will run at a standard 110, 120 volt, just like any household outlet would, but it'll run 16 amps. So if you could plug into a wall, you can plug into this thing. It can run multiple fridges for multiple days, just great backup, or be the star of car camping. And if you got more stuff to plug in than just that, up here under the back seats is a second port. You slide that all the way to the left. That is another outlet running the very same output as the one in the back. So use them both together and you can drain this battery all the way down to a 20% charge threshold and just run everything for days. It's a really cool setup. All right, so when you're not using your EV6 to power half of your house and you need to use it as a car and carry some friends around, the back seats are a pretty spacious place to be. In fact, I'm gonna hop in, shut this door, and slide all the way over behind my own driver's seat that I film in, so all the way back and reclined. Now I'm gonna spin the camera around here real quick. I am 6'1"-ish, 275 pounds. Good gut room, good knee room, good shoulder room, and good head room. So I'm not a small dude. Also, these back seats, they can recline or stand up vertically for more cargo room, and you still maintain pretty good headroom and pretty good comfort. Spinning this around again, you'll see backseat passengers get some amenities too. USB-C fast charge ports in the back of the driver and passenger front seats, B-pillar vents, both sides, hard storage cubbies here, big cup pockets on the doors here, as well as that Meridian surround sound system, which definitely bumps, and then all the usual things. Child seat anchors down here at the bottom, the top tethers are above and behind the seats there, and cup holder armrest in the middle. It's a good place to be. Before we climb into the captain's seat, dark car in the desert, don't worry. When it is locked, hold down the remote start. You'll see the lights go on. Climate control is now running inside the car to pre-cool it for you. Double tap the unlock, mirrors pop right out, and in we go. Before we do though, got a storage cubby here on the driver's and passenger's door that is large enough with a water bottle recess to even fit a big Nalgene bottle. Another shout out to Meridian Surround Premium Sound. And a fun little thing I like on these are the positive and negative on the accelerator and the brake pedal. I like it when the designers have a little bit of fun. So, power this all the way up into run mode. Turn on the air conditioned seats because priorities. And let's get going. Here on the driver's door, window lockout are here, power window controls are here. Power door locks are here, and your power mirror controls are there. Top button will fold them in if you want to sneak into a particularly tight parking spot. Down here on the lower left, you've got the instrument cluster lights, height set for the rear automatic door, charge door open, electronic parking brake, and traction control off. The wheel, standard fare Hyundai Kia, but they keep it pretty easy to understand. Your cruise control controls are here on the left-hand side: set, following distance, lane keep, and your speed adjust. This little guy here controls the menus in the center console, and there's just lots of good little bits of information displayed in there. And one of my favorite fun screens is this, showing battery status and how much power is going per motor to each wheel. So kind of fun to keep an eye on that. Down below is your drive mode switch. You have your usual 3 and a bonus mode, so eco, normal, and sport, and if you hold it in, you'll get snow mode. Here on the right-hand side of the wheel are your usual infotainment controls. Notably behind the wheel are these 2 paddles here and here. These adjust your regenerative braking. The left paddle will increase and the right paddle will decrease your regen while you are driving. Moving on to the actual infotainment system here. This is the primary screen. It's like their calm screen. Shows battery percentage, approximate range with that percentage, and your HVAC settings. And if you're playing any media, it'll show what it is along with the time and date. Hidden behind here is kind of neat. It's a completely decontented map, just showing a rough outline of where you are with the streets without any like signage or numbers or anything. This is your main screen here. There's a ton of stuff to go through, so I'm only going to hit on the highlights right now. When you come to check this out, you can poke through all of these. But EV gives you all the good nerdy stuff about the vehicle, ranges with and without AC, nearest charger, battery percentage, and down here is your V2L, allowing you to change how much it will draw the battery down. So 80% means it'll stop discharging at 80, and you can run that all the way down to 20% if you need to move a lot of electricity out of this car. You can also use this here to set up your charge times to take advantage of cheap electricity, such as off-peak hours, or if you have solar that works best at a certain time of day, or presetting departure times to pre-cool and condition the vehicle so it's ready and waiting for you when you normally would have to leave for work or to go home or to run your errands. Climate does all the normal climate things, but projected on the screen up here. All of your climate controls are also on this dual function control panel down here, which you can flip-flop between radio controls and hotkeys or your actual HVAC. Now, everything else in here is exactly as you'd expect from a Hyundai Kia product, but phone projection is for your wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And one really neat thing is HD radio data. I like the fact that they integrated this here because not a lot of other manufacturers do. And the information is free over the digital FM radio waves. So you can have real-time traffic and construction advisories, as well as Doppler radar, real-time projected to the phone. And since it is nearly July in Tucson, you can even see a couple little monsoons are starting to pop up along the higher altitude parts of the mountain ranges around here. But again, down below, HVAC controls. You can synchronize both driver and passenger or split their temperatures individually, give them each their own control. Most importantly, though, down here are your seat controls. Yes, heated seats, cooled seats, and a heated steering wheel, because it is always more electrically efficient to warm you physically up than to warm up all the air around you. Power button is here. This is your Prindle. Reverse is to the left, neutral's in the middle, drive is to the right. And of course, if you kick it into reverse, you get your backup camera and your sonar and your parking sensors shown there. Here in the middle, move the car keys. You've got regular old cup holder, but this is removable in case you have a particularly long item you need to hide in your center console. This is a wireless rapid charger, and these 2 buttons here, this one will kick on your parking camera, basically your backup camera and parking sensors while you're stationary. Auto hold keeps you from rolling, and this actually turns on or silences your parking sensors and all of their associated beeps. Good size center console here, and on the passenger side, very, very deep glove box in these, along with all of the factory books. You've got an automatically dimming rearview mirror overhead, and you're just Kia Connect and emergency phone calls. Think of it like General Motors is OnStar, but for Hyundais and Kias. Sun visors do exactly what you'd expect. You've got a mirror, they tilt, they telescope, and a neat thing, if you turn on this little light, but then shut the visor, it automatically flips a switch and turns it off for you. Clever little design touch. But enough sitting around. Let's get to driving. Head down into the lower levels of the parking garage. I want to show you, now that we're driving, what those paddles really do. Right now, I have it on regen level 2. So, if I pull the right paddle, it will increase to level 3. Or engage I pedal, which is your one pedal driving, where you can accelerate and stop completely without using the brake pedal, which is pretty nice. And this is that screen I was telling you before, where it'll show steering angle and power wheel to wheel and what motor is doing what, which is very cool. So this is an EV, a pretty new EV at that. We know it's going to be quiet. In fact, other than my chattering away here, pretty much the only thing you're going to hear are the tires on the concrete and maybe my hand squeaking on the steering wheel. But let's give it a quick little thump and then brakes. Nothing going on there. Knock it into reverse. Let's say we're going to park over there. Let's see how good these sensors are. Driver's side mirror automatically tilts down, as does the passenger side. So if you look, to make backing easier so you don't hit any, curbs, or you can more easily see where exactly the rear wheels are for parallel parking. They drop, camera comes on, sonars light up. Now in this parking garage, this has cable stays behind the parking spots, so some systems won't recognize them, but the good ones will. And we'll see if the sonars pick them up. There we go. And it'll yell at you pretty aggressively to keep you from backing into something you don't want to. But enough in here. Let's get out on the road. Really quickly, I'm going to pull away from this light here. I want to show you all something pretty neat. So that little screen here, as you initially accelerate away, both motors go green, showing that it's using both of them. But for efficiency, this will completely shut down and freewheel the front motor, so you're using less electricity and have less resistance to driving for efficiency when you don't need all that power. So you can see back motor green, front motor gray. If I bury the pedal though, in eco mode, it will still just use that rear motor for power, but it uses both of them for your regenerative braking. Very, very clever system. Now, these cars have some of the best adaptive cruise and driver assist systems out there. And I'm just going to set it up nice and high for highway cruising here. Got the following distance locked in. Lane keep goes green. And there we go. Cruise locked in at 75. It's captured the lanes in front of us. And it's just going to hold us right here. Doesn't take much of any pressure on the wheel to keep it happy and keep you steady, and it'll just hum right along. Now there's not that much traffic in front of us, so I can't really give you a taste of the adaptive cruise slowing you down, locking onto the car in front and pacing them. But I can show you, since again it is uniquely quiet for rush hour on a Friday here in Tucson, I'm gonna be quiet because this is 80 miles an hour cruising down the freeway. I'm whispering at my phone, and between the road noise and the wind noise being managed really well, this is a really, really quiet place to be. So if you have to, get out on the highway and do a big long road trip in this, not only does the 800 volt architecture charge faster than almost any other EV on the market, yes, even faster than Teslas at their superchargers, it sits on the highway beautifully well. So whether you're doing around town commuting or going on a big long highway blast, these do a phenomenal job at both tasks. Up here at the end of a mostly abandoned dead-end road here in Tucson, we're going to do a very important, and importantly one of my most favorite tests, a 0 to 40 to 0. Testing the suspension and braking systems of this car under full accelerative and decelerative load. I'm already in sport mode. It's all-wheel drive, so we're not going to spin tires, but we'll just turn traction control all the way off. And yeah, let's hit it. 3, 2, 1. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Excellent. It just digs and goes, and when you have to reel it in, it stops very, very well. This is a really well-planted car. Give you all a bit better taste of how this feels at, you know, low speed, normal commuting, as we're just going down one of the, you know, normal urban or suburban roads here in Tucson. Lane keep does actually work quite well here, and it'll pace the vehicles in front of you very, very nicely. I don't, you know, recommend relying on it through here, but it's a nice capability demonstrator. And speaking of capabilities, I'm just gonna set this to radio. So my phone doesn't do the best job of capturing very loud audio, but when I tell you this Meridian sound system sounds good, I definitely mean it. And even over really, really broken up stuff here, getting back to the ride quality and how well this thing handles, you know, crappy pavement, good suspension, good tires. I mean, Kia did a very, very good job with the noise, vibration, and harshness on this, especially when flipping this around. A big open, like hatchback wagon styles, they can get really crashy if the engineers don't do a good job, and this definitely isn't that. Even over, like, there's a manhole cover, it's about as big of an upset as you're ever gonna see in one of these. They really are very good all-rounders. And funny enough, looking at the speed bump, looking at the window sticker from this car when it was new, it has the trailer prep package, meaning that if you put a hitch on this, you can pull 2,300 pounds. This is actually rated to tow, which is not common for an EV. So, like I said, it can do a little bit of everything. Look at our lot wrapping everything up on the 2022 long-range all-wheel drive EV6. These things are kind of peak do-it-all EV. That long hatchback shape means you can comfortably fit 4 to 5 people and all your stuff in it. It has got the efficiency between the aerodynamics and decoupling that front motor to go almost 275 real miles. You've got the all-wheel drive for sure-footedness, that super comfortable driving position with the air-conditioned front seats. These just, there isn't much you can't do with one of these. And even when you're done using it as a car, use the V2L. Use it as a power bank to run the appliances in your house, or take it car camping, or heck, with a class 3 hitch, if you put one on the back of this, it can tow 2,300 pounds. That's a lightweight camper. Take it to a campsite and then use your car as your energy source. Unhook the camper, drive around and explore. If you're creative enough and clever enough, there isn't much you can't do with one of these. And to find that out for yourself, call or text the number on screen, or follow the link in the description below. Until then, I've been Dylan. We'll see you soon.